crashed a car as a valet and got away with it. Somehow. For the past year I've been working as a valet for an upscale steakhouse. This happened my first day on the job. Our lot is about 20 spots long, with big square concrete pillars between every 3 spots. It was my first day, so I was still trying to settle in and get comfortable with the way things run, and of course I wanted to impress, so I was going as fast as I could within reason. Well, as more and more people showed up, I guess I started to rush, and as I was parking this brand new Toyota Camry, I pulled forward to adjust and accidentally turned into a pillar, completely destroying the left side from the front fender to the back door. Since it was my first day, I was too embarrassed and nervous to say anything. Like I said, it was when I parked it, so I had to keep working knowing that the customer could come out any second. Luckily it had gotten dark by the time they came out, so I pulled the car up. They approached from the right and the left side was very dark, so they didn't even notice. I was also holding the door open, of course. My manager did see the damage, but never said anything, probably just assumed it came in like that since the customers didn't mention it. Since then, I haven't had a single problem, not a scratch. For what it's worth, most of our customers are very well off, so I'm not exactly boiling over with guilt. Just grateful I got to keep the job and not pay for the damage. Some extra details: the customer never returned or called, and company policy is if an employee damages a vehicle, they are either fired or charged for at least half of the damage.
Am I the asshole for yelling at my brother and kicking him out of my house? I, 28F, have a brother, 33M, and I have a difficult relationship, all because I started dating his best friend, 34M, 8 years ago, and for him that was an unforgivable betrayal. And I know that to this day he still thinks the same. That's why our relationship is almost non-existent now. I apologize thousands of times for falling in love with his best friend, and for not having been able to fall in love with someone else, but he never forgave me. We only see each other at family parties and that's it. He didn't attend our wedding and didn't want to meet our children, 6F, 4F, 2F, when they were born either, so you can imagine how much he hates me. A few days ago we celebrated our mom's, 62F, birthday at my house because hers was being renovated. Well, my mom begged him to come because she is sick and she doesn't know if she will be able to celebrate her birthday with us next year, and he accepted her invitation and went to my house. Of course, since he arrived, he made it clear that he was only there for our mom, and that he was not interested in playing happy family with me or my kids. I kept quiet because I wanted my mom to have a good day and ignored him. After cutting the cake, my mom opened her gifts, and one of those gifts was an album of the most important moments of all her children and grandchildren, something that for some reason she asked for a few months ago. And she was so happy with the album that she started looking at all the photos and showing them to the guests while remembering when she took each photo of us, her children. In that album there were photos of my brother with my husband at their high school graduation. My husband was included because he and my brother have been friends since they were babies, so he is like another son to her. And when my brother saw them he said something like, "What a nice picture. No one would suspect that you would fuck my little sister." A few years later, my sister, 31F, told him to shut up, that he was being rude, but he didn't stop and kept looking at the photos to say things that nobody wanted to hear, so I got tired and asked him to leave my house. I told him that he was being rude and inconsiderate with our mother, that I didn't want him there. And of course, he stormed off, and now he thinks that the villain of the movie is me. And the worst thing is that one of our sisters, 36F, thinks the same thing, because she thinks that I should have kept quiet since it's my fault that he's like that. Edit: I don't know if my brother is gay, but the truth is that I suspected it many times when I saw how affectionate he was with my husband. Like, my husband had a few girlfriends before me and my brother hated all of them, but I thought it was just jealousy because he didn't spend as much time with him. But if I think about it, it does look weird. He's in his 30s and he only had a girlfriend when he was 12 or 13. He was always possessive of my husband and overly affectionate, which my husband always hated, so maybe it's true. Maybe that's why he hates me and my kids, and maybe that's why I unconsciously apologized to him, because deep down I knew he was in love with him too. Edit 2. I spoke to my husband and he says that nothing ever happened between them, that they were just friends, that he is straight, and that my brother always knew it, that he never did or said anything to make him think otherwise, so I don't know what's wrong with him. I just know that I feel enormous guilt. If he's in love with him, I'll never be able to feel at peace again. Am I the asshole?